Sweet. All right. Welcome to Midway. We are like almost 2 weeks in, you guys, which is kind of bonkers. The time seriously flies. I don't know if you feel like I do, but I'm like mid-November. Holy shit. This is crazy that it's almost the end of 2017. It's like mind-blowing for me. Roz, I know we had said we were going to talk. There was two main things we wanted to talk about here. Should we just start it off real quick with everybody kind of saying like how their experience has been so far, like how they
should we do it? What have you done? What have you changed in the past week and a half? What's the second one? What have you done right? Like what's gone well?
Oh yeah, what's not gone so well?
To being successful in your terms. And what are you going to do differently for the next week and a half?
I dig it.
Okay,
I'll go first. No, we put her on the spot. Danielle, you're on the spot.
Go, girl.
I was just adjusting myself into the comfy couch.
Nice.
Well, this is the first time I think, actually ever since doing a challenge group that I haven't missed workouts. So.
Woo! That's awesome.
Yeah, usually I manage to give myself an excuse for at least some of this, so that's been really good.
Proud of you.
Nice. Good job.
What the difference is, if it's just like fresh new people or what, but
it's the energy of the peeps.
Really good. So moving forward, I just going to continue to work on meal prepping a little bit because night shift still kind of have a way with you with baked goods and all that stuff. So.
One sec. I just had a hard time hearing that last bit.
Yeah, it muted out on me there.
Right there.
Okay.
I just said that I wanted to keep going with meal prepping, basically.
Meal prepping?
Yeah.
Good job. And you rocked freaking day shift workout pre-day shift, which is like the best thing. Joss, I don't know if you do them when you get home or before.
Well, I actually haven't had any day shifts so far this group. But I've been on nights like the whole group so far. And actually I think for the whole 3 weeks I only have 2 day shifts. But obviously I'm gonna have day shifts for the rest of my life. So I've been doing them after, but I want to try to just start doing them before maybe. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna at least try it.
Once you're like in the role, how did you find it, Danielle?
I find it easier than doing it after work.
Do you?
Yeah.
Just like
when I work, I just want to eat and watch Grey's Anatomy most of the time.
Right?
Yeah. Totally. I totally
understand. You guys leave the hospital and go home to watch Grey's Anatomy. Can we get this straight? Is that what's happening?
It's so fake. Every bit of Grey's, but it's so good. I'm just watching season 11 now, you guys. I snotted all over my buddy hug. Like hyperventilating, crying when Derek died.
It was sad. It was really sad.
I was emotionally distraught when I went.
You guys are hilarious.
Anyways, I love that there's in this group.
I know, it's blowing my mind. You guys
rock it, Danielle. I'm super proud of you, and you're killing it in this group. And we're only a week and a half in. We are going to kill it this next week and a half. I'm so excited. So keep it up. And yeah, meal planning. If you need help with anything or some resources or anything, just let us know. But if you're not Beachbody on demand, the blog
yes, so it is epic.
Straight up meal plans, and you can type in what your calories, and they actually do good ones. And there's ones that you don't even have to cook anything for it. There's ones where it's so definitely check out on there. If you just go on teambeachbody.com and then the blog.
Beachbody on demand and then the blog there. And they have the Fix It cooking show too, which is epic. Like for anybody that's not really sure about cooking, it's sweet. And I think the key thing I see the most common with people struggling with meal prep and stuff is that people overcomplicate it. And it's just just find some foods that you really like. If you really like quinoa, make a bunch of quinoa at the beginning of the week. If you really like putting chickpeas and pumpkin seeds on your salads, just make sure you have those things in jars in your fridge ready to grab. It's just having the things available and having the not so good things not available, because that's when I can't personally keep chips in the house because I will snort them. I'll inhale them like a Coke addict. That would burn. No, I seriously can't keep treats in the house because I legitimately will devour them like a monster, especially during Shark Week. I go cray for all the food things. And like I have dietary restrictions, but I still find a way. So
You can overeat kale juice and quinoa, Marie.
I don't drink kale juice. That would be no, not me. But yes, tacos I can overdo. And yeah. All right, who wants to go next?
Okay, Erin, take it away.
Okay, what were the questions again?
So what have you done what have you changed in this first week and a half? What have you not done right, but what's went well? What were your impediments? So what kind of got in the way of you succeeding? And you're going to do different for this next week and a half.
Okay, well, I felt like it was kind of a slow start because I had to figure out how to adjust this challenge group without exercising because I can't. And so yeah, it was a really slow start for me because I was in a lot of pain and I was really frustrated. Plus meal prep wasn't really under my control. So, you know, I ate whatever people brought me. First week was rough, and I was also kind of being kind on myself because like I had to kind of go with the flow, and then I knew things would get better, and things are better now. So I can cook for myself and for the family, and it's going way better. I'm in a better headspace. While I was dealing with that first awful week of recovery, I also had to be working on report cards. So that had to take a priority as well. I was still doing my professional development reading and my kind of reflecting, but just having that heaviness of report cards on my shoulders was weighing me down. So now that's all like done. I finished that on the weekend and submitted them, and I just feel so much happier and excited because I feel like now I'm really getting into the challenge because I can focus on it and I'm like not in as much pain. So, you know, I can get up and walk around a little bit. And I was even thinking about doing some some upper body workout things. I still can't do anything with planking or really anything with my legs. Mm-hmm. But I can do like a 10-minute, like just with my weights, doing bicep curls and shoulder presses and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that. Plus I can do like a 10-minute walk. So
do you have a band?
I don't know.
Oh, well, okay, weights work too if you have weights. I was going to say, like, when I use a band, I remember when I was recovering from like shoulder and just part of the physio stuff, it burns. Like you can do all kinds of over and across. But if you have weights, that's sweet too.
Yeah. So, but one thing that I'm, I guess, happy about is I went back and I reread part 1 of the book because when I was reading it, I also had a lot of stuff on my mind, and I was thinking about it and I was kind of jotting things down, but I wasn't like fully reflecting. So I went back and I pieced through it with more effort, and I'm excited about that. And I feel like I'm more aware of like my biggest downfall, like I said, is the nutrition part, where like I'm good all day and then for whatever reason in the evening it's just like nom nom nom, I want to just eat whatever I can find, like for no reason. And today, even when I was kind of doing some laundry and then getting ready for supper and whatever, I was more conscious of those feelings of, oh, I want to go grab a whatever. And so I stopped and I asked myself, like, well, what's the need? And it was like, well, it's a habit, right? And so I flushed that out of my kind of thought process that I didn't need to do that. And so I think that's good. I think that because I'm being more cognizant of it and I'm trying to figure out the why, I still don't know why I feel like I need something like after supper, because I've eaten, I'm full, I'm satisfied, but yet I'm not.
Did you guys eat dessert when you were growing up?
No.
Never?
No. Actually, it wasn't until I met my husband, I was like, oh my God, you guys are like always partying with food, because it was like always desserts. And anytime we have like a family gathering, there's always dessert. And like that's hard, but that's only every 2 weeks. So, you know, it's not a daily whatever, but for some reason I finished my supper. It was a wonderful meal. And then 30 minutes later, I'm in the kitchen going, I want something. But
I've gone through phases like that too, Erin, where if I start, like you said, it's a habit. Like once I start having something after supper, then I'm like expecting it. So if I go like a week with having, even if it's like good things, like even if there was one week in September, and man, my skin paid the price for this, but I had these like dark chocolate chips, and after supper, I would let myself have like a little handful of dark chocolate chips and cashews, and like love cashews because they're so fatty and delicious, right? So I was like eating these chocolate chips and cashews after supper each night, and by the end of the week, first of all, my skin hates all sugar, even if it's dark chocolate deliciousness. But by the end of the week, I was like, oh, like I want my treat. Like, I want my like thing.
yeah.
Same thing, like eating delicious meals, not hungry, but it almost becomes like a kick of like, it's like when you wake up and the first thing you do is go brush your teeth and wash your face, right? Like kind of just becomes a habit. I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but I find for myself, I was doing that with appetizers before supper while cooking. I was doing it like after supper. So what I'll do now is before supper when I'm cooking, I always keep lime Perriers in the fridge. I love them. They're so good. And sometimes I'll like put a couple berries in the glass with the soda water. Sometimes I'll put like a fruit wedge or whatever, just to sip something bubbly and cold while cooking, cuts that like need to snack. And then after supper, I'll always make a tea, always. Just because I'm like, okay, I want something sweet. I'm going to make some kind of delicious herbal tea with like a little bit of Manuka honey in it and a little bit of almond milk. And then it like satiates my need to, anyways, I don't know if that helps, but that's what has worked for me.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just going to have to, as I'm dishing up my plate, just turn the kettle on so that, you know, the water's ready. So as soon as I start to feel like that motion of finding myself in the kitchen, just make a cup of tea, like boom, done. Just until that becomes my habit, because it is right now, it is my habit to gravitate towards sweet stuff. And I think because of Halloween and whatever, you know, I would love to say, oh, just throw away the candy, but it's my kids' candy. Like, you know, they look forward to coming home after school and having a treat. And, you know, same thing with Chris and his chips. Like,
I know, you're a strong woman.
Oh, it's hard.
I would not handle that.
He drinks his rum and Coke and eats his chips, and I'm like, hey.
Trying to get fit, Nancy. You should ask him and see if he'll get on board for a couple weeks. See if he'll do it with you. Just ask. I mean, like, don't push, but like, just ask. Just be like, hey.
No, he has, and like, he appreciates all of everything that I do, and he's super supportive, and he's like, wow, you know, really proud of you, and he likes it when I'm more cognizant of it, because then I'm cooking, and you know, he does like the healthier foods that I cook. Even tonight, I steamed up a whole pile of broccoli for me, and I was like, well, you can just have peas because you like peas. He goes, well, I'll have some broccoli. I was like, what?
So it begins.
Yeah, you know.
I'll tell you a story. Okay, no, go Roz.
No, I was just going to say, even I've noticed from, obviously our team is like, I don't know, 99.9% females, maybe one.
No, I think the male, well, Brandon.
Yeah, and Brandon. But like, honestly, there's so many husbands and boyfriends and partners and wives that have just got on board because they're like, okay, A, you're killing it, you're happier, you're more confident, you're loving life more, and I like kind of feel like a slob, so like I kind of want in on this. And then they won't ever admit that like you're doing the right thing and they're not, but they'll just like, oh, some broccoli.
I'll tell you guys a story. When I started Beachbody coaching / doing these programs, drinking Shaco, doing the groups and stuff, it took Brandon probably like I want to say a few months to be like, okay, I'll try this workout with you. Okay, I'll try Shakeology. And at first he was like, I don't really know. Like, I like what it's doing for you, but I'm not really sure. Okay, so almost 3 years in. February is 3 years for me. Now he gets upset if shake isn't made. Okay, so if I make my own shake and don't make his, then all hell breaks out. He's in the room too, smiling at me right now. Okay, so that's the real thing. he's doing body beat season like week 11. He did 21 day fix 5 times in a row, like got sweet results, reads PD every single morning. Like it's helped us in so many more ways than just fitness. You know, like our relationship is better now because we talk about these ideas that we read in PD, and we're happier and healthier and eat. Like we're eating more plant-based right now, which for him is, as a steak eater, is huge. Anyways, so just know that it's possible. And it starts with, I'll have some broccoli. That's what it starts.
And he has been, it was actually kind of cute because between ball ending and hockey starting, he's like, yeah, you know, I should probably, you know, do something to get the cardio up. And so he's like, yeah, I'm going to go hard and work out with you, you know, these 2 weeks, you betcha.
Nice.
Well, I think he did 1 workout, maybe 2. And he's like, I tried. And I was still press and play. So I was like, well, you know, you're more than welcome to join me. But then I switched my workouts to like 5:30 a.m. and he's like, no, not happening. So he's not there yet.
That's okay. He will be. You just keep showing up, lead by example. Nice. All right, Joss, you up?
Yeah, okay. I also kind of forget the questions.
What? Like, I'm forgetting the questions here, you guys.
Ross, get it together.
What have you changed?
I don't even think I answered the questions.
You did good.
What have you changed in this week and a half? I know you've been kind of in it for a while. If you've changed anything or what's working. What have you done right or what's going good? What have the impediments been to your success? And what are you going to do differently this next week and a half?
Okay, I'll try to remember all those.
Just basically
don't worry, I'll say them again.
What have I changed? I feel like I've changed so much this last week and a half in like a really good way. I feel really good.
I can tell in your posts. Love it.
Yeah, I've been eating way better, like so much spinach, a lot of green stuff, and I just feel really good. Really similar in that it's been a really long time since I've done like, what are we, day 9, day 10?
Day 10.
Day 10 in a row. So that's
I know.
like really exciting for me. Yeah.
It's a big freaking deal.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah. So that's been a big change. And
what changed for you mentally? Because I know for you, like food is, well, for all of us, because we're emotional creatures, because we're humans, right? But I know for you, like food was a big one. So what changed? Like what switched for you emotionally that you made those changes this week?
Well, I think I had a tough weekend. I think I had in terms of food and nutrition, I had a good week. And then I kind of splurged a few times and I felt bad about it, which I'm trying to work on to, have treats here and there and not beat myself up about it. So that's kind of a constant thing. But yeah, so a few times over the weekend, there's some big social gatherings and stuff. And my partner, Mick, was off. So I feel like sometimes we go out and see friends and do more things like that. So there was a lot of indulging. I don't feel like I went too overboard. Like I'm feeling really good, but I'm still working on finding that balance between, too much and saying no when I need to say no, but also enjoying a treat sometimes. But for nutrition, like what changed? I don't know. I feel just so motivated. And when I feel motivated, I just really want to eat salads and I want to eat really I feel like I've also learned a lot about healthy fats and I've learned a lot about good things or, I've kind of good things to eat or try. So I feel like I'm trying new things. I'm making a few new recipes and when I work, I have a routine. I always pack the same foods for my lunches for work, and I have for the past year. So I've had some really good eating habits in the last year or two since I've been doing the last few years of shift work, where I pack the same things for my 3 meals at work, and they're really healthy meals. So I've stuck with that. I guess it's harder for me on my days off when I don't have that same structure with my shifts, because I'm used to bringing the same things all the time for breakfast, lunch, supper for my shift. Yeah, I feel like I half answered that question. So the biggest thing I've probably been struggling with or that's been challenging this week has probably been nutrition-wise, and treats. Treats are so hard. But the last few days I've been feeling really on track with my eating, and yeah, I feel good.
That's awesome. And you know what's the coolest thing too? Something that I've learned along this journey is that as you start to become more intuitive about like, okay, I'm going to eat this today because I feel super good. And then I'm going to, we say allow myself or choose to, like, I like saying, I choose to eat this. I choose not to eat this. As you continue on your journey, you're going to realize the things that make you feel so good all the time. And then you're going to choose not to eat certain things like ever again. And Brandon and I were just talking about this. We used to drink every single weekend. We used to crush bottles of wine, you guys. Like seriously, the amount of money we're saving, first of all. Second of all, the last time I drank was on Halloween. I had 2 glasses of wine. And that's Halloween. On 2 glasses of wine on Halloween, that's it. Like I used to get blacked on Halloween every year because I love having a good time. Sorry, like not black. Well, sometimes. But what I'm trying to get at here is that your habits start to shift because you start to feel really good from your workouts. So then you start to choose better things when you're eating, and then you're okay with having a burger and fries when you're out with friends and 2 beers because you're like, man, I feel really good about myself. I feel happy eating this, not guilty. And then the next day you have your Shaco, make an extra big salad with a nice piece of salmon and do your workout, and you just carry on. And it's just like you start to learn what your body needs and wants more, and it becomes less of a you become less enslaved by food, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I totally have like a few favorite things too that I make like all the time. I'm kind of like, I always make a certain like Greek salad because I have a really yummy salad dressing that I love. And just like there's certain things, like I really love Thai soup. So I just made another batch tonight just because I'm really on like the Thai soup train right now. So I feel like I keep making the same things over and over, but it's good and they're healthy things. So
well, and if that's what works for you, I think the biggest thing is when people, Marie, we were kind of talking about that, when people like think they have to eat healthier, eat clean, then they immediately start thinking like, well, this is a bad food and this is a good food. And like the bad food, like a crush bowl of ice cream and dive into a bag of chips, been there, done that like a bazillion times. But like Marie, like you said, instead of you just learn that your body doesn't feel that shitty for sure after a burger and fries. It's not the greatest feeling. Like you can tell when you've had a night out, but you wake up the next morning, you have your shake, you do your workout, and life goes on. It's not like this big roller coaster of like, oh, I'm doing so good, and then I had a burger, and now I fucked up, and I might as well just like
start again on Monday.
And then like, oh shit, I feel so shitty. I need to get back on the train. And then like, okay, I'm doing good. I'm doing perfectly. I'm eating perfectly. I'm not having any bad food. And then you're like, but I want something, like I want to have a sweet or I want to have anything. And then you're like, oh, but I just cheated and then I fucked up and now we're just going back down. I think, yeah, learning that like our bodies are amazing things. They can have a burger and fries and go about their merry way. They're going to turn it into energy. But realizing and noticing the difference of how you feel, it's easier to choose the foods that give you energy and make you feel better, as opposed to the burger and fries that, you know, might not make you feel so good. It just, yeah. So I think getting in tune, I don't know, intuitive eating, I find I don't even know how to, like,
it's hard because we're seasonal
just learning
too.
to listen. Yeah.
I was going to say one thing really quick while I'm thinking of it. Roz borrowed me 2 books. I'm having a lot of like hormone imbalance stuff right now going on. And so she borrowed me 2 books. One's called The Hormone Cure and one's called The Hormone Diet, both by Dr. Sarah Gottfried. And between those 2 books, plus I read Clean Skin from Within by Dr. Trevor Cates and have been listening to a bunch of podcasts and stuff on hormone health. My mind is being blown, you guys. It turns out that like hormones are literally the cause for all of this. Hormones are the cause for emotional eating, for storing fat, for your just everything. Literally, like your craziness, people having a bad experience with PMS, and the foods you eat directly influence your hormones being in and out of flux. And so one of the things that I'm learning with this book, and I'm doing the like diet right now or whatever. It's an elimination style diet. So every 3 days you take out something new for the 21 days. So for these last 3 days, I haven't had any meat or sugar. And then it gets to like day 10 where you cut out caffeine. So I've already started by going half calf, but it's just crazy to read about this kind of stuff and to really think about, okay, like how are the foods that I'm eating truly affecting me? You know, like even choosing something like organic coffee, because if you don't choose organic coffee is such a heavily pesticized crop that if you're not choosing organic coffee, you're going to be getting coffee beans with a bunch of like mold and shit and toxins in them, which is then going to throw your hormones off flux. So even something as small as that we don't even like think about. So I don't even know where I started with that, but anyways, just wanted to mention the hormone thing. Just interesting stuff.
Totally. I think we're all like perfectionists here, so I agree. That. So yeah, like tips on that. How much do we have? 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to be like a huge perfectionist, and for me it was like a lot of like emotional stuff that made me think that, okay, in order to succeed or to be loved or to feel good about myself, to be worthy, I had to be like perfect. So that's like eating, that's working out. And then that just brings in like the all or nothing mindset. And so Joss, like you're saying, this past week and a half, you've changed a ton of stuff. You're feeling so good. You've worked out. Like focus on those things. Focus on what you're gaining. When you have a salad as opposed to a burger and fries, like what do you gain? What do you feel from that? As opposed to like focusing on like, yeah, but I'm missing out on burger and fries. And like, that makes me sad. And just, I think honoring your decisions of what you choose and being proud of them. But then at the same time, allowing yourself or choosing, I like the way you said that, Marie, choosing when you want to have something, have it and don't feel guilty because your body is an amazing thing and it's going to create energy from it. But yeah, as for perfectionists, I think the biggest thing is just get curious. And Erin, like you wrote your note down because you know that's kind of where at night, and realizing that maybe it's just a habit. And at night when those cravings hit for something sweet, you can say, hey, is this like actually something I want, or am I just doing it because it's a habit? I'm gonna have tea and see where that goes. What do you think, Marie? I think getting curious is like the biggest thing that's changed for me. Asking myself why I have the cravings or why I feel that if I choose a certain food, I fucked up when it really made no difference.
Honestly, like journaling has been such a huge one for me too. And like it's not often that I go through intense food cravings now because I try to just like honor that. And because when you eat good food for so long, you don't crave shitty food anyways, right? Like even your taste buds regrow. And so for me, like a frozen strawberry is sweet now too. So you'll even notice as you start to keep doing this, when you eat artificial sugars and stuff, you're like, oh my God, that is so sweet. Whereas before you wouldn't have even batted an eye. But for me, journaling helped me a lot when I found myself having like crazy food cravings or feeling extra emotional, you know, and like we're women also. We are like highly powerful beings who can create life. Like that's pretty intense, you know, and because of all of the hormones that are coursing through our body, like I said before, there's going to be times when you have these crazy things going on, and just writing it out is so helpful. I find if I wake up and I'm feeling like, holy shit, I feel really sad today, you know, I will go to my journal. I will meditate, just be like, what's going on? What can I learn from this? What's happening right now? Never ask, why is this happening to me? You know, just distance yourself, observe and say, okay, what can I learn? What's going on right now? What is this really about? And then journal about it. That's been like one of the most powerful things for me.
Yeah. Kind of like, what are your emotions trying to tell you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the other thing that I would say too, and Erin, it reminded me what you said before about like reaching for stuff after supper. I find that if I'm like super intense, like strict throughout the day, like if I'm up and like I eat if I have like 2 eggs and spinach and mushrooms and maybe 1 piece of toast at 11, and then I have my shake at like 1, and then I maybe have like a can of wild salmon with some veggies at like 2, those are great foods, but that is not a lot of food, you know. And then when 6 p.m. rolls around, I'm just like, give me everything. Like, let's make pasta and garlic toast and everything. And then I just like eat this huge supper. And that's when I'm more likely to binge on other things too, you know, like my dark chocolate chips after sup kind of thing. No, don't do that anymore, but did it. So I find that if I like kind of expand my portions a little bit more throughout the day, and just really, I don't even keep track of my healthy fat portions anymore. I know that like for weight loss, if you want to lose weight, do. But for me personally, when I am eating like an avocado a day or like good handfuls of like yummy nuts, and I put hemp hearts and chia seeds and sunflower seeds on everything, you know, like I don't really monitor the amount of those things. I find that keeps me satiated throughout, so I'm less likely to crave.
Yeah, I think I totally will agree with you on that. In like the days when I used to like hardcore binge, it was always at night, and it was without question whenever I tried to restrict throughout the day and not eat enough, and I was like fine throughout the day, and then at night when it came and I was just like, I'm hungry, I'm cranky, I'm tired, and then you have hardly any willpower, you've been restricting all day, and then you just kind of dive in. And it's so hard to get satiated at the end of the night when you have not eaten throughout the day. So I will agree, eating, like making sure you eat a good breakfast in the morning and have your shake. And I will agree, healthy fats, I don't measure them either. I find they help so much. I put MCT oil pretty much in and on everything. But yeah, avocado and coconuts, everything, yeah.
I love how you say avocado so much. Every time you say it, I get a little happy. Avocado. Do you guys have any questions? Yeah, down by the creek. You guys, sorry, Roz, that's not nice. It's just making. And then I realized you lived in a small town, and then it was, yeah. Do you guys have any questions midway? We're midway through. We're at day 10 of 21, which is pretty sweet. Like the time flies anyways, right? And this kind of just shows that your habits can work for or against you. But do you guys have any questions or comments, any feedback about the group? Because it's never too late for us to like even switch things up. You know, any comments? You guys are the VIPs for tonight.
That you, notice repetitively happening or not happening, or you're struggling with, or
are you guys enjoying the book?
Yeah,
I am. So I'm.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Me too.
Some parts relate a little bit easier than others, but that's to be expected.
One switch that I like wish was in the book was not that she like talks down to me like your inner mean girl, but she almost makes it seem like it's like you against your mean girl. Does anybody else get that vibe sometimes? For me, that's just in my head. Yeah. And she's like, that's just your mean girl trying to self-sabotage you. And I'm like, I don't know. For me, I've fought with myself for so long that I resonate so much more with like your mean girl is just like your scared inner being who is fearful of feeling emotions. So she's like, let's go eat ice cream and be happy. And you're just like, no, like you're fine. Instead of be like, you bitch, like you're so.
See, like I just replace it when I read it. I just replace it with ego. So I'm like, your ego wants you to do this, and I'm like, yeah, totally. It's like ego versus higher self, and that's totally what it is.
Yeah.
But
maybe that switch would be better. Anyways, that's just one random thing I got from the book, but I am really liking it. I really like what we're seeing, and she has a podcast, you guys.
Yes, listen to her podcast.
The way she writes and her liking the book, her podcast, she has some really good interviewers on.
Actually, one of those hormones. Oh yeah, sorry, what?
We're gonna run out of time.
Oh shit. Okay, we're gonna run out of time, but listen to Melissa Ambrosini's podcast, and thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Seriously,
for showing up. A benefit for you.
Yep.
You guys are killing it. Let's crush this next week and a half. God, almost 3 weeks. Crazy.
Proud of you.
All right. See you guys later. Have a good night.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.